There are always new requirements. Beneficial for you. They say the opportunity for advancement has succeeded. Desire disappeared long ago. The soul
is depleted, with no discharge of inner tensions inside.
Soul, you need change, but you can't cope with change any longer. Soul, what happens when there's no more energy to address the issues head on? You put off tasks and forget to take care of your body. Soul, you feel bored and lonely now that your online friends no longer answer. The soul, you got intoxicated last night, but it's no longer possible to get high. Get high. How do digital souls survive when perseverance means nothing anymore? Once you're too tired to manage your life and deal with planetary dysmorphia, there's always the fallback option called copium. You got intoxicated last night. You got intoxicated last night. Soul, anymore. You got intoxicated last night. Soul, opium, called intoxicated. Soul, you got intoxicated last night. Opium, called intoxicated. Soul
feels depleted, with no discharge of inner tensions inside.
Intoxicated. Soul, you got intoxicated last night. Opium
feels depleted,
intoxicated.
with
Soul
no discharge of inner tensions inside.
Anymore. Opium. Soul, there are always new requirements, but none are beneficial for you. They say the opportunity for advancement has succeeded. Desire disappeared long ago. Soul
is depleted, with no discharge of inner tensions inside.
Soul, you need change, but you can't cope with change any longer. Soul, what happens when there's no more energy to address the issues head on? You put off tasks and forget to take care of your body. Soul, you feel bored and lonely now that your online friends no longer answer. The soul, you got intoxicated last night, but it's no longer possible to get high. Get high. How do digital souls survive when perseverance means nothing anymore? Once you're too tired to manage your life and deal with planetary dysmorphia, there's always the fallback option called copium. You got intoxicated last night. Opium. You got intoxicated last night. Soul, anymore. You got intoxicated last night. Soul, opium, called intoxicated. Soul, you got intoxicated last night. Opium, called intoxicated. intoxicated soul
feels depleted, with no discharge of inner tensions inside.
intoxicated soul, you got intoxicated last night. Any opium
Feels depleted,
intoxicated
with
soul
no discharge of inner tensions inside.
anymore opium soul. There are always new requirements, but none are beneficial for you. They say the opportunity for advancement has faded. Desire disappeared long ago. The soul
Feels depleted, with no discharge of inner tensions inside.
soul, you need change, but you can't cope with change any longer. Soul, what happens when there's no more energy to address the issues head on? You put off tasks and forget to take care of your body. Soul, you feel bored and lonely now that your online friends no longer answer. The soul, you got intoxicated last night, but it's no longer possible to get high. Get high. How do digital souls survive when perseverance means nothing anymore? Once you're too tired to manage your life, deal with planetary dysmorphia, there's always the fallback option called opium. Opium. You got intoxicated last night. Opium. You got intoxicated last night. Soul. You got intoxicated last night. Soul. Called intoxicated soul. You got intoxicated last night. Opium. Called intoxicated soul.
Feels depleted, with no discharge of inner tensions inside.
Intoxicated soul. You got intoxicated last night. Opium.
Feels depleted,
Intoxicated
with
soul.
no discharge of inner tensions inside.
Anymore. Opium. Soul. always new requirements, but none are beneficial for you. They say the opportunity for advancement has faded. Desire disappeared long ago. The soul
Feels depleted, with no discharge of inner tensions inside.
soul, you need change, but you can't cope with change any longer. Soul, what happened?
Oh, oh, oh.
No more energy to
Hello.
address the issues.
Żywy
head on.
obraz starts to
Put off
talk
tasks.
to
Forget
people.
to take
Happy
care of your body. Soul,
New Year and a little bit future for everybody in this tired planet.
online friends.
We are starting together with the first time zone. So we are starting in Poland. Actually,
Get I.
this is a very small and poor village
When perseverance
and experience with some traumatic
you're too tired
past
to manage your life
explosions
with planetary dysmorphia.
that
Always with
we also share
old
with others.
opium.
It was a very tired and strange year, but the next one supposed to be worst,
Got intoxicated last night.
like Italian Prime Minister said. But Sophie said something else, something different.
Yes.
That we will go to happy future with our horses. Say something about horses, please.
Maybe not all of us, but the Pisces for sure will go like straight to the 2026, like fucking amazing year for Pisces. If you're Pisces, like get ready to take this year to flex. Yes, why? Because the Saturn is going out from our sign and it had been here already for 30 years. I even was alive, but Saturn was in my sign, and Saturn is about boundaries and the regulation, and that something is doesn't allowing us to grow. And now we are and now we're ready to get out of these boundaries. Yes, what else good? Yeah, we're all, not we all, but some of us is red, because it will be the horse year also as well. I don't know as much about horses, but my mother is horse. And Konrad sometimes is a horse, as I know. Hello, Konrad. And Konrad is a Pisces, but I don't know why, but he said that he's afraid of like actually next year in the means of the astrology. But I have a look, and it's like pretty fucking good year for Pisces, and I don't know why he's afraid of. Yes. Conservatives, Gleb says. So we will. Two. Yeah, a lot of money also, like. Yeah. So, and the travels and so on. I even.
For horses or for?
For pieces.
In the Peace Ocean.
In the
Pacific Ocean.
the Pacific Ocean piece. Alright, so what are you doing? What are you opening?
Kombucha by Loren.
Elixir of love. Elixir of love. Ooh. Why?
I got this mission and I will accomplish it.
Alright.
So, Happy New Year, Poland, and probably later Rom will introduce you this part of Poland history, which is probably unknown to most of Polish and in general world.
Happy New Year!
Beneficial for you. They say the opportunity for advance has desire disappeared long ago. Soul
is depleted. No discharge of inner tensions inside.
soul, you need change. But you can't cope with change any longer. Soul, there's no more
Bless
energy
you.
to address the issues head on. Put off tasks. Forget care of your body. Soul, feel bored
Say something to us.
now that your online friends
Drodzy kochani, dears and loved ones, I
intoxicate
will just wait 1 second to sit because I want to fall. Oh, okay. And we are sending Gleb back to technical part. I
means nothing anymore. Once you
I wanted to say a couple of words to everyone who will watch us in future or who are watching us now. It's pretty early and 31st of December, so I bet everyone is chilling and preparing themselves to get into a new year. And this year was personally one of the hardest for us as a collective. And I wanted to say that I am entirely proud of everyone from our collective, so us four, especially Rom, for being such a strong person, human being, and not giving up, because it was one of the hardest year. I hope it was the hardest one we would ever have. And I just, and as you have seen, I was not mostly in the streams and in activities for this year because I did something else. But I'm still here and I will still be here. Maybe not that much as I was before, but I'm still here and this is the most important thing. And I just wanted to say how proud I am that we are still alive. And I wanted to say fuck you to everyone who thought that we will close our project, that we will give up. We are not. And karma will get everyone. I do believe that. If karma will not get it, I will do. So yeah, Happy New Year for us. I know that I want to believe that Sophia is right, and I want to believe that the next year will be better. I think we will strongly started from Transmediale in Berlin in January, so that's a good start. And yeah, I'm excited to finish this year. I have 2 tasks for this stream. It's fermenting eggs and coloring Rom's hair, and I think it's very hilarious. But I am excited. We're also waiting for my partner to come over and to cut Rom's hair a little bit later. So yeah, let's go. And I want to ask about this map because I have never seen it before. Are you supposed to make us a lecture about it? Go for it, because I'm interested.
Thank you for the introduction and for wishes and for that few honest words you said, and I take it to my heart. Yeah, let's go there. Let's go to this small island, to the village Poland, which is exactly in the Kiribati Island, which is part of Kiribati atoll and the state republic Kiribati, which is exactly in the first time zone, and now at 11 a.m. Here in Krakow, the new year, the first new year in the planet passed. So happy new year for people there, and let's go back from the studio. The studio is the past. Let's go to the history. Let's go to the history which is waiting for us in the future. And history is about traumatic experiences. And this small, beautiful coconut island is also about this. We found it, I found it because, of course, this first place in the earth that the new year is coming. So this is also about kind of a contract between people who decide probably that there is the line between one day and the another one. Everything starts and circulate, and it's about circulation, maybe new starting point. But everything what is new is also kind of the contract. Nothing is new because there is always something behind, and the history, and the history is in this particular place, which is beautiful. And maybe let's go to the some mashup in the background that I prepare for you with some fireworks, digital, because of course only digital fireworks should works, and this is why we are able to do this like that. And what? We are in the middle of the Pacific Ocean now, almost, or exactly in a way, near Kabaya Islands, but the near means few thousand kilometers, like 2,000 kilometers to south, around. And these small islands also experienced in the past a series of atomic bomb tests did by British governments first and army, and then collaboration between USA and British troops and engineers. So let's spend this time together in this beautiful place. This is Paris in the background. We are in Paris now, because in this small island there are like 3 cities. London, of course, which is a capital in a way. Paris, which is almost empty. And Poland, and this is the church in our background, and there is small community living there. There is also a foundation based in Krakow. It supports that community and collaborate with people there, and that's mix of traumatic history, beautiful landscape, and also the question of the future in front of climate changes, and the think of the level of sea, the ocean, because this is a very flat island which has like 1 meter over the sea level, is the together introduction for our trip for the next year, our trip around the world today, and our trip to the future in next year. That's, I hope it's still for all of us. Greetings to all of you, the greetings to people from StreamArt Network. Thank you guys here, Ksenia, Sophie, and Gleb, and Vala, and my brother, my lawyer, and also few more and many others around the world. Greetings to people in Munich and Alex and Chicks on Speed team, which is also waiting for connection with Berlin Transmediale, and we will be split then and connect in the next of January. So, Happy New Year one more time. Be careful. Be, I don't know, open mind. Be brave. Be careful and brave.
Don't use fireworks. They're dangerous to your body. They're dangerous to animals surrounding you. It's very important. It's traumatic. It's cringe. It's not cool anymore. And I hope this will be the last year we all use this type of shit. I hate it since I was a child. And I've heard that Poland is actually from 2 a.m. on 1st January. I'm not sure because I haven't checked this information, but I really hope it's true. That's from 2 a.m. 1st of January. Poland is also banning fireworks. I really hope that it's a big step for us, because it's very traumatic to a lot of people and a lot of animals. I know I said it, but it's very important for us to understand that no, we don't use this type of stuff anymore, and you also shouldn't. I also wanted to say something, but I forgot. Yeah, well, mostly about fireworks, and probably we should move to some Hawaii and use a natural green screen for our studio. Okay, let's move. What next we have?
This is what you introduced already. Eggs cooking. We'll cook eggs, our eggs. Let's stay with some explosion in the background in the past. The grupę program. We have also a book about this. We have also, maybe Gleb, you can cover us now. I don't know. Or let's disappear in this. Yeah, let's disappear with this. Let's disappear. This is maybe good moment for short disappearing. And yeah, stay with music, stay with loop with this mashup for a moment, and then we will be back with Ksenia chapter with Black Axe, and then from black we will go to some colors. But Black Axe, it's also kind of the transition to more to Far East, is a recipe from China or Far East. Yeah? Yeah. You will tell something about this. Yeah? See ya!
Office, UK British Nuclear Weapons and the Test Ban 1954-73, Britain, the United States, Weapons Policies and Nuclear Testing, Tensions and Contradictions, Ashgate, 2010, pp 5776. Letter from P. Rogers, Secretary of State for the Colonies. The 20th of September, 1957, marked top secret. Colonial Office Archives Co. 1036/283. As this book will detail, the British government continues to claim that safety preparations and the conduct of the tests minimized radioactive fallout. A 2008 fact sheet released by the UK Ministry of Defence, MOD, argues that almost all the British servicemen involved in UK nuclear tests received little or no additional radiation as a result of participation. If personnel who served at Christmas Island at that time had been stationed in the UK in an average location, their dose of naturally occurring ionizing radiation would have been 3 times greater than it was at Christmas Island. 7. In contrast, many participants have testified that they were exposed to significant risk. Today, decades later, survivors suffer from serious illnesses that they attribute to exposure to hazardous levels of ionizing radiation. The aging Christmas Island participants are also fearful about the health and well-being of their children and grandchildren. As a young student, I marched against uranium mining in Australia and boycotted French wines as a protest against nuclear testing on Nashą atoll. In 1985, the McClelland Royal Commission published its twofold report into the 12 British atomic tests in Australia. 8. I was stunned by revelations that had universities shown to experiments on their individual tube, sending plumes of plutonium contaminated smoke across the desert. Like most people, however, I knew nothing of the British hydrogen bomb program in the Central Pacific. Most histories of Kiribati and Fiji don't mention the grapple tests. I only really learned about Operation Grapple when I lived in Fiji in the 1990s, working for the Pacific Concerns Resource Center, PCRC. From its founding in 1975, the Nuclear Free and Independent Pacific (NFIP) movement joined with the Pacific Conference of Churches, PCC, and supportive international organizations to campaign against nuclear testing. The signing of the Rarotonga Treaty for a South Pacific. 7 UK atmospheric nuclear weapons tests, UK Programme, Fact Sheet 5, UK Ministry of Defence, June 2008. 8 Government of Australia, the report of the Royal Commission into British nuclear tests in Australia, Australian Government Publishing Service, Canberra, 1985. Introduction. Nuclear Free Zone in 1985 was an important milestone in this quest. In contrast to most international peace organizations, which focused on the health and environmental impacts of nuclear testing, NFIP also made the connection to broader Pacific campaigns for indigenous self-determination, decolonization and political independence. As a network led by Pacific Islanders, NFIP stressed that the Western powers could only test nuclear weapons in the Pacific because they were colonial powers in the region. The slogan went, "If it's safe, test it in Paris." While French nuclear testing at Mururoa dominated the headlines in the 1980s and 1990s, the history of British testing in Kiribati was less well known. As I worked at PCRC in Suva, a number of old men would wander into our library, quietly asking for Mrs. Salabula. They were soon closeted with my colleague Luzina Salabula, who managed PCRC's disarmament program. I soon realized that they were Fijian veterans of Operation Grapple and were seeking support for their claims, recognition of their military service and health support from the Fiji government, as well as pensions and compensation for illness and injury from the British government. The sense of betrayal from these veterans, who had served God, Queen and country, was palpable. Fiji was a British colony until 1970 and many ethnic Fijians retain strong emotional ties to the British monarchy. Young Fijian men, imbued by a culture of militarism, masculinity and Methodism maintain a proud tradition of military service in the Republic of Fiji Military Forces, RFMF, through international peacekeeping with the United Nations and also enlistment in the British Army or with private military contractors. The phrase comes from the late Teresia Tewa, articulated cultures, military and masculinities in Fiji during the mid-1990s Fijian Studies, a Journal of Contemporary Fiji, Volume 3, Issue 2, 2005. For wider discussion of Fiji's military culture, see Winston Halapwa, Tradition, Lotu and Militarism in Fiji, Fiji Institute of Applied Studies, Lautica, 2003, NIC McClellan, From Fiji to Fallujah, The War in Iraq and the Privatization of Pacific Security, Pacific Journalism Review, Volume 12, Number 2, September 2006. Teresia Tewa also showed that Fijian women too are increasingly joining the British Armed Forces. What makes Fiji women soldiers? Context, 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 intersections, gender and sexuality in Asia and the Pacific, Issue 37, March 2008. Grappling with the bomb. As the Christmas Island veterans shared their stories, it was clear that we should record their testimony, which had never been published. Together with researcher Joshua Namos Mudrelajai, Luzina and I co-authored the book UKRAiNATV, published in Fijian and English by PCRC in June 1999.10. The impact of the book is detailed in Chapter 22. With the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 and the end of French nuclear testing in 1996, many international organizations had diverted their attention and resources to other issues. As well as the civilian and military personnel who had staffed the test sites, the battle for cleanup, remediation and compensation was just beginning. As subsequent chapters will show, it was only in January 2015 that the government led by coup leader Bainimarama, now elected Prime Minister of Fiji, would provide financial support to the surviving Fijian veterans and the families of those who had died. The remaining British, Australian, NZ and Fijian nuclear veterans, now integrated, are still campaigning for compensation from the UK government. Despite their calls, the UK North and successive British governments have systematically resisted legal claims from the veterans of the British tests in Australia and Kiribati. On the 60th anniversary of British tests in Kiribati, it's important to look back on these events of the 1950s, especially because they influenced Pacific culture in subsequent decades. Occurring in the period before TV and the internet spread across the islands, many stories from this era have been forgotten. The grapple tests ended more than a decade before Greenpeace was founded in 1971. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, worldwide attention and popularizing the campaign against nuclear testing in the international media. But few people recall that, in 1957, an English pacifist named Harold Steele dreamed of sailing a boat into the middle of the Christmas Island test zone and halting the grapple tests. 10 Luzina Salabula, Joshua Namos and NIC McClellan, UKRAi zamyślna socia kanaluni matewalu winy viti na wakatowo to wyjarodzajni I perytinium like
On the stream?
Pacific
can hear me.
Concerns
Okay.
Resource Center, Suva, 1999. The book would not have happened without the support of many PCRC staff,
Okay,
as
I go,
detailed
because
in the
it's,
acknowledgements. Introduction.
Так.
The 50 years of nuclear testing in the Pacific left economic and social legacies as well as environmental contamination for nations like the Marshall Islands and French Polynesia.
Słuchajcie mnie z
Many
mikrofonu.
people welcomed the
Okay,
development of
dobra.
nuclear infrastructure across the region, for the jobs
Hello,
and
we're
financial
about to
opportunities created by an influx of
For
military
future,
personnel.
for
Political
We are
leaders,
cooking
from
eggs
Prime
for
Minister
a new
Robert
year.
Menzies in Australia to President Gaston
Okay, so
Flossie in
what's
French
boring?
Polynesia, enhanced their political careers through
And
fawning
I'm
loyalty
adding
to
some
empire.
eggs. I'm adding
But
some
there was
eggs
also protest
for-
and resistance. This contrast is a central theme throughout
and
this book.
cook them on
Pacific Islanders bore the brunt of the development of nuclear weapons by the United States, Britain and France, but some benefited from employment or seized the opportunity for adventure. Other islanders, facing the loss of land,
3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I cook 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I cook 7. So all of them will be covered in water. And they, okay, we have 6 minutes to cook. Nothing hard, but the most interesting part will be in fermenting. I will tell you in a second. So, about fermenting eggs. We all eat ramen, and you know this like tasty, salty eggs you have when you buy some ramen. And I got interested in fermenting stuff and in like Asian cuisine. So I try to realize how to make it, and it's actually turned out that it's very easy. So I started to make them, and I was interested in the history, and it turned out that like in ancient China, people fermented eggs in actually some clay in earth for preventing them for getting bad. And it's a very apparently popular dish in China now. Haven't tried it yet. It's called 100 years egg. I have a friend from China. I need to ask him about that. But what we're cooking now, it's like marinated, not fermented eggs. So I will marinate them in dark sauce, so it will make them look black, brownish, you know, dark with the liquid. I'll try my best to make it liquid in the yellow part of the egg. And what? I already made this. It looks probably a little bit not very beautiful for you, but it's gonna be tasty. So it smells amazing, and I think this marinade is kind of like a classic one for if you want to marinate anything like radish, cucumbers, eggs as well. You just kind of add more stuff to it if you want some more flavors. So what I have inside is soya sauce, dark, actually black rice vinegar, some sesame oil, some Sichuan pepper. You can see it here. It's like flowers of pepper. It's very good. And I have added some paprika. Originally, I think a lot of people add also some honey, but I haven't had any honey, so no honey today. But it's still gonna be good. Yeah, so we just wait until eggs will boil.
I could bring amazing honey from Ukraine.
Yeah, I thought Sophia and Gleb will have some, but it doesn't really matter. All the last time I haven't had any honey, so no honey today. But it's still gonna be good. Yeah, so we just wait until eggs will boil.
I could bring amazing honey from Ukraine.
Yeah, I thought Sophia and Gleb will have some, but it doesn't really matter. All the last times I was cooking without honey, so it's fine. Okay, eggs are boiling. 3 minutes passed. We have 3 more to go, kind of. And yeah, that's basically it. We just put the eggs without the shell, obviously, in a jar with the sauce, and they have to sit there for actually up to 1 week, but I'm not such professional, so I was not eating them after like 3 or 4 days because my stomach is not Asian stomach, and sometimes, it could be tricky. So just be careful with that. Apart from it, all good. The more tasty they are, the more they lay in the sauce, the more sauce they take inside of them, so the tastier they got. And it's basically a rule, so like 12-24 hours is a perfect time to set your eggs in the sauce. And that's it now, that's it. We have 2 more minutes to go. Then obviously we have to prevent temperature getting inside in eggs, so we put them in a very cold water. Then we clean them, and that's it. That's it, we just have to wait 2 minutes.
What does mean fermentation? What does it mean?
What means fermentation? I think, this year was a fermenting year for me because I started to make kombucha, I started to make fermented cucumbers, and what else I made? I think I marinated some radish, and I like how in fermenting you trust the natural process, which you can upgrade a little bit with some like spices or the way you do it, but it's just nice way to kind of refresh a little bit, I think, what you eat, and it's also very like healthy to your stomach. Like kombucha is amazing. Okay. One egg just exploded. Never seen something. Okay. А там журала отецкие делали?
Ale magazyn. Oj, muzykowy. Wróżka zębuszka. Na jakim chcesz. Tło to tylko tło, a nie tło. Biec. Happy the horse.
Możesz to poczyścić. To jest takie.
Siedzę na ksenie. Nie, siedzę na stole. Nie bijcie об mnie jaja. Teraz jestem latającym dżinem. Teraz będziemy wyciągać... A po jakim języku muszę to zrobić?
Poszedł po kawę. Po kawę.
Będziemy wyciągać kartę dla UKRAiNATV na 2026 rok. Może 2, może 6. Nie jestem dobra w tarota, ale wyciągamy kartę. Jaki będzie rok 2026?
Nie, chodzi o to, że tak nie ładnie. Ale nie, słuchaj. Lepiej miękko niż twarde. Wybuchło po prostu. No nie, słuchaj.
Knight of Pentacles. Taki. To jest nosorożec akurat w tym tarocie. To jest paż pentakli, co może oznaczać albo młodego mężczyznę, ale raczej, no, nie wiem, albo może znaczy, że to ogólnie idziemy do przodu. Ten pentakl tutaj jest taki ładny, on stoi na takim wzgórzu i pokazuje stronę do przodu, do przyszłości? For the future. Tutaj wam pokażę, możecie zobaczyć, może. Idziemy do przodu. Ogólnie pentakli to są pieniądze, to są dobra, to są jakieś taki komfort. Taka komfortowa jest ta karta i pokazuje jakąś taką stronę do przyszłości, ale musimy jeszcze zobaczyć, co jeszcze, bo w sumie... Gdzie pokazuje ten pentakl? Co to znaczy? Four cups. 4 kubki emocji. Emocje odlatują. Kubki odlatują zakwiecione, a jednorożec siedzi na górze. I on jest taki... trochę czeka, a te emocje, no bo te kubki to są emocje, intuicje, oni lecą na górę.
No wyżej jeszcze.
Jeszcze. One more. 5 of Cups. Czeka nas jakieś rozczarowanie, ale ta piątka to też zawsze, że coś się rozbije, z czegoś będziemy trochę smutni, ale wciąż są 2 kubki, które jakby nie trzeba, właśnie ta pani tutaj jest odwrócona do past i te kubki są rozbite, ale tu też są 2 kubki, które są pełne, fajne, zielone, kwietniące. Więc...
Są.
Nie, jest dobrze. Raczej dobrze niż źle. Więc dalej. Queen of Swords. No idziemy. Dalej idziemy gdzieś. Dobra, weźmiemy inną kolorę, zobaczymy na innej. Co ona?
By the way, black axe are waiting for consumption in next year. Oh no, this year, in a way.
Siedem tych...
Nieszczęść.
Nie. Właśnie biegniemy przez las. Biegniemy przez las. No i tutaj jest ta pani. Co to znaczy? Panie, o, to jest jakaś akcja. Zobacz, jak to widzisz. Idziemy przez las z nożem krwawionym. Trochę jest taka smutna, nie wiem, jakaś ucieczka, ale potem jest 6 kubków. 6 kubków. Tutaj jest taka bardzo teatralne wydarzenie. Wystawa, taka wiecie, lekarz i diabeł. Wystawa lekarza i diabła. Leczymy diabła. Co to pika? Pip. I na koniec jeszcze
A pani z 2 mieczami?
będziemy
co
walczyć.
robi?
Ja myślę, że będziemy walczyć.
Czy to jest ktoś, kto walczy z nami? Czy to my jesteśmy?
My mamy nóż.
Na wszystkich my jesteśmy.
My jesteśmy na wszystkich.
Wszędzie my jesteśmy. Dobra.
I finalnie to zobaczymy przywódnią.
Trzeci kwartał roku.
Przywódnią. Śmierć!
O! Czyli
Umieramy,
transition.
żebym się odrodzić. Tutaj ta karta jest taka, wiesz, patrz.
No to jest... What does means śmierć?
No, na pewno nie fizyczna śmierć i nie śmierć, jak ją postrzegamy, a właśnie przerodzenie. Przerodzenie w co?
Transition.
Jajco.
Jajco!
Przerodzenie, o kurwa. Przerodzenie w kurwa w rozpierdol. O,
The Tower.
the tower.
The Tower brzmi zacnie, chociaż tak trochę falicznie.
No, wygląda falicznie. No, coś to już za akcja będzie. Będziemy musieli umrzeć, żeby odrodzić się na nowo. Bo potem jest super.
Wygląda dobrze.
Potem jest super, potem jest taki jeleniek na rączkach. Niesiemy jakąś... To jest zdobycz.
Tworzymy...
Stworzymy zdobycz. No.
No,
A na dole imprez jest. Imprez super. Koniec.
fermentacja. Fermentation, we are changing, we are dying, we're dying, we're dying, changing, we're dying, we're changing. To teraz idziemy przez las, który płonie. A co było na samym początku tych sekwencji?
Był taki nosorożec, który patrzy w przyszłość.
Wow!
No, taki fajny, ten nosorożec jest. On też to jest żywioł ten.
No i mamy konia też.
Tak, a potem mieliśmy
Wow.
konia.
To mamy tego konia. Nawet 4 konie.
Czemu 4 konie?
O.
W kaps.
Aha.
Koń 1. 4
4
kubki.
4 kubki apokalipsy.
A potem mamy 5 kubków.
O,
To jest takie. To jest logiczne.
to już mamy bar
to jest
kubkowy.
logiczne
herbaciarnia.
rozwinięcie. No. Tutaj te kubki totalnie inne niż te kubki. To takie latające kubki.
Okej. Dobra. So next chapter.
Następny chapter.
Coloring. To powiedz mi, co ja mam robić. Co ja mam robić? Dobra. To my znikamy. Dzięki na razie. Hello.
logistic and financial realities of working in the Pacific, given the vast distances across the colony. Bernanke was looking for financial and employment opportunities for 26 until its dissolution into the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, FCO, in 1966. The Colonial Office had resisted calls from the Treasury, Foreign Office and Commonwealth Relations Office to rapidly give independence to small British dependencies. For discussion of these tensions in the Pacific, C.W. David McIntyre, Winding Up the British Empire in the Pacific Islands, Oxford History of the British Empire Companion Series, Oxford University Press, Oxford, 2014, pp. 32-39. Grappling with the bomb. Gilbertese, while Governor of Fiji Sir Ronald Garvey was also pushing for the employment and training of young Fijians on Christmas Island. This led to the deployment of sailors of the Fiji Royal Naval Volunteer Reserve, FRNVR, and engineers and laborers from the Royal Fiji Military Forces, RFMF, between 1957 and 1960. As we mark the 60th anniversary of the grapple tests in 2017-18, the issues of British nuclear weapons, indigenous rights and a nuclear-free and independent Pacific are still with us. There are debates in the UK Parliament about the cost of renewing Trident, the heart of the UK nuclear arsenal. Post-Brexit, Scottish nationalists are calling for a nuclear-free and independent Scotland as they move towards a second referendum on independence. The Republic of the Marshall Islands unsuccessfully has taken Britain and other nuclear weapons states to the International Court of Justice, ICJ, over their failure to meet disarmament obligations under the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. As a consequence, in February 2017, Britain withdrew from the compulsory jurisdiction of the ICJ on matters of nuclear disarmament, in order to hold further cases that threaten its nuclear arsenal. 8 Pacific Island countries co-sponsored the December 2016 UN General Assembly resolution to establish a treaty banning nuclear weapons, with negotiations amongst 130 governments commencing in March 2017. The South Australian government is seeking to establish a nuclear waste dump on Aboriginal land, even as the Australian government exports uranium to fuel nuclear reactors like Daiichi Fukushima, which since 2011 has continued to contaminate the land and marine environment. Meanwhile, the Tokyo Electric Power Company is wondering who will pay the horrendous price tag $160 billion and counting to clean up the world's latest nuclear sacrifice zone at Fukushima. The list goes on. Even as some pundits call for an expansion of the nuclear industry to address the challenge of climate change, we have not addressed the costs and consequences of nuclear activities in the 1950s. As we enter a new era of uncertainty, following the Brexit referendum and the election of Donald J. Trump as US President, it is important to remember the tragedy of the nuclear era in the Pacific, so we are never forced
We are in
to
the
repeat
next
it.
time zone.
Introduction.
Pass New
Moreover,
Zealand,
it is time for the
so,
citizens of the
we
United
are
Kingdom to call on their government to
swimming
give the
with our
right to and
flotilla.
address the legitimate claims of the grapple survivors.
Follow the sun to the sun garden,
The leader Sir Winston Churchill.
and
Winston Churchill,
in the background some
Franklin
footage
Delano
from
Roosevelt
the
and Joseph Stalin at the February
mashup
1945 Yalta
from the
Conference.
Chicks on Speed exhibition
Source,
Utopia
US National Archives.
as a footage from
Grappling with the bomb. Jock Colville
Sumo
was a worried man.
flotilla.
As principal
We will
private
be there
secretary to Sir Winston Churchill, he could see that
in
the
the
British
future
Prime
too.
Minister was a sick
And also
man
this
and
topic of
burdened by
flotilla
nuclear
and
nightmares. The news that
ocean
both the United
activism,
States and the Soviet Union
is a
had
part of the
developed a
history of
hydrogen bomb as well as atomic weapons weighed heavily on his boss.
atomic
Following the
bomb
announcement from
test
Moscow that the
in
Soviet
the
Union had
Pacific
tested
Ocean
a hydrogen bomb
because
on
the
the 12th
first
of August,
flotilla
1953, Colville
against as a
noted in his
protest
diary.
as a
PM coming
civil
round
action
towards
against
resignation in October. Says he no longer has
power,
a zest for
violence,
work and finds the world in an
and
abominable state
regime
wherever
of
he looks. Greatly
fear
depressed by thoughts on the hydrogen bomb.
starts then.
One. After serving as
with
Prime
some protest
Minister during the Second
against
World
the
War, Sir Winston Churchill
atom
had
bomb
succeeded Clement
test
Attlee
in
for
the
another term of office in October
Pacific
1951.
Ocean.
In his final political years, however,
Greetings
Churchill
to
was aging and in ill health after suffering a stroke in
much
June 1953.
our friend from
On
New
the
Zealand.
15th of August,
And greeting
3
to
days
Alex,
after the Soviet
more or
H-bomb
less our
test,
friend from
Churchill
Australia,
told
who
colleagues,
is also
"I was
partly
depressed,
with
not
her
only
roots
about myself,
in New
but about
Zealand.
the terrible
And
state of the world. That
I've never
hydrogen
been
bomb
that
can
far.
destroy 2
I
million
think it's
people.
farther than
It is so awful that I have the feeling that it will not happen. Two. These concerns about the hydrogen bomb were a significant
Moon.
change. As Britain's
No.
leader during the Second World War, Churchill had actively supported the US
Yeah, like
Manhattan
that?
Project, which developed the first atomic weapon. Three
Okay, it's
following
better.
the
It's like a
August
wow.
1943 Quebec Agreement on wartime
camera
nuclear
is a mirror for
collaboration
me now.
between Britain and the United States. British scientists played a key role in translating the theoretical physics of nuclear fission into a practical weapon,
Go
which
to
first
some news
detonated at
in,
Alamogordo in the
around
New Mexico desert in July 1945. Historian Elizabeth Tynan has argued that
Around
British
the
physics initially
world.
found the US
New Year
Manhattan
celebration, because probably in Sydney,
The
in
Fringes of Power.
New Zealand,
Street Diaries
in
1939,
some other
1955.
places in that
W.W.
line in
Norton
Tokyo
and
soon, I think.
1985.
There are some celebrations,
P675.
and we can
To
be
Martin
together.
Gilbert, Winston S. Churchill,
I feel some
Volume
cold.
1945-65, High London, 1988, P875. 3 Graham Farmer, Churchill, History of Science, War and Politics, Faber and
Wow.
Stevens, London, 2034.
Czuję się zaopiekowany.
The atom bomb was the horrific weapon deployed by the United States against Japan. U.S. President Harry Truman ordered the atomic bombing of Hiroshima on
Jak grzbiecie arbuza dookoła świata. Jak grzbiecie arbuza dookoła świata. Gdzie jesteśmy, Gleb? Zrobisz jakiś komentarz? Sydney. Not bad. To jest właśnie folia, którą zapomniałem przynieść. No, z kraju, który nie istnieje. W ogóle założenie państwa to jest największa mitologia kultury możliwej ludzkiej, ale na pewno tej kolonialnej, zachodniej. Ameryka jest ufundowana na tym micie, że jest to w ogóle możliwe. Niewielu się udało. Właśnie
codenamed Operation Crossroads. On Bikini Atoll, the Marshall Islands. 8 The tests were conducted a year before these Micronesian islands were designated as part of the
tam, gdzie się udało,
the only strategic trust
tam
created by the United Nations after the Second World War. 9. In November 1946, the United States
trwa wiek XVIII. Tam, gdzie się nie udało, czyli tam, gdzie takie fundujące idee i działania zostały zweryfikowane przez dekolonialne praktyki, trwa wiek XX. A tam, gdzie jest teraz wojna, tam jest wiek XXI. Pozdrowienia dla Majka. Kogo? Who is Mike?
Some of his ministers were more gung-ho about an independent British nuclear capacity.
Michael Dieter from London. Ah, he's also partly with Australian roots. I think he's actually from Australia. I'm very sorry spreading personal information.
1994.
He's watching, yeah, okay.
Islands had been administered by Japan between the World Wars, but became strategic United Nations trusteeship administered by the US military in 1947.
May I give you my
Japanese forces in 1944-45.
to have some commentaries from your side also, the master of ceremonies.
Between the United States and Great Britain under the terms of the McMahon Act. 1946-1958. The Historical Journal, Volume 2, Number 2, 1995, 11 Lorna Arnold details.
Вітаємо усіх з наступаючим Новим роком та Різдвом. Хтось вже відсвяткував, хтось ще буде, а хтось не святкує. Свята в житті потрібні. Це можна сказати вже точно. Щоб мати куди повернутись, принаймні в своїх спогадах, відчуттях. Свято створює відчуття безпеки. І думаю, що це головне. Знаю, що у багатьох немає святкового настрою і так далі. Але якщо зробити перший крок, то вже стане легше. Свято в житті потрібне. Тому що тоді є щось, що допомагає переживати і проживати, і перемагати важкі дні, місяці, роки, години. Подивіться на вираз обличчя Ксенії. Вона чимось дуже здивована. Виглядає так, ніби їй розповіли якусь несподіванку.
Unable to use U.S. nuclear testing facilities in the Nevada desert or the islands of the Central Pacific, requiring other locations with vast space and limited population. Western leaders were shocked when the Soviet Union announced its first nuclear test on the 29th of August, 1949, in Operation Pavaya Molniya, Fast Lightning. This atomic test, at Semipalatinsk in Kazakhstan, was the first of 456 tests at the site. One witness noted, "The scene was striking, destruction all around, heavy dead silence, burnt soil, dead burnt birds. An eerie feeling. 14. Cold War anxiety over Soviet nuclear capacity was amplified by the outbreak of fighting on the Korean Peninsula in June 1950. Britain accelerated its nuclear program. On the 16th of September 1950, Prime Minister Attlee wrote to his Australian counterpart Robert Menzies, asking permission to hold atomic weapons tests in Australia.
Ну, для тих, хто, може, там не зрозумів, то я теж трошки розкажу загалом. Перший Новий рік святкується в містечку, яке має назву Полон, і воно знаходиться на Кірітіматі Айленд. І, власне, коли там почали шукати взагалі, яка історія цього місця, з'ясувалося, що там проводились випробування ядерної зброї.
I am telegraphing to you now to ask first whether the Australian government would be prepared in principle to agree that the first United Kingdom atomic weapon should be tested in Australian territory, and secondly, if so, whether they would agree to our experts making a detailed reconnaissance of the Montebello Islands so that a firm decision can be taken on their suitability. 15. Even as Britain began preparing a series of test-efficient weapons in Australia, the US government was moving to develop a larger thermonuclear or hydrogen bomb. Only a month after the first British atomic test at the Montebello Islands, the United States conducted its first test of a thermonuclear device, codenamed Mike, on the 1st of November, 1952. As part of Operation Ivy, the Mike test on Enutak Atoll was held just 3 days before the presidential election that saw former Allied Supreme Commander Dwight D. Eisenhower replace Harry Truman as U.S. President.
Я б включив тричок
Well before the
ядерно.
construction of sleek warheads, the Mike device was a clumsy beast, larger than a house, weighing 65 tons and requiring refrigeration to keep the hydrogen fuel liquid until detonation. Even so, the detonation vaporized the coral islet of Le Cap, Iludlup, and left a crater 60 meters deep. At a yield of 10.4 megatons, the explosion created a mushroom cloud more than 100 kilometers wide. It was the first test of a full-scale thermonuclear device and irradiated several US military personnel. 16. The Soviet Union in turn exploded its own thermonuclear device on the morning of the 12th of August, 1953. The first Soviet hydrogen bomb was much smaller than the American device, but the explosion made an awesome impression on all those who witnessed it. As one said, the effects of the first Russian atomic explosion had not inspired such flesh-creeping terror. 17. 15 Elizabeth
And for this
Thailand,
occasion,
Atomic Thunder, Opposite, P3.
there is a
16
track
Only 2,000 of approximately 14,000
about
participants in
nuclear
Operation Ivy were
gnosis.
issued with radiation monitoring badges. Crew of a photographic plane caught in the fallout received up to 11.6
So
REM,
enjoy.
116 MSV of radiation.
Рождена. Безтілесна. Життєво-смертна. Смерть життя. Рождена. Безтілесна. Життєво-смертна. Смертне життя. Першонароджена. Як примирення. Самоявленная, священное имя. Я верно силою, я верно зброєю. Я верно поштовхом життям. Я верно рождена, зерна безсілесна життя, зерна безсмертне життя. Першонароджена, я прийми мені самоя верна свячена ім'я. Я верна силою, я верна зброєю, я верна поштовхом життя. Я верна народжена, зерна безсілесна життя, безсмертна, я смертне життя. They are born from a bodiless seed. Mortal and deadly life was born as free. Добрий день. З вами діджей Софії, а з нами лайвер Скріп. Ми слухаємо Скріпа і ми красимо голос. Для чого? Для щастя і здоров'я. 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 Розказувати. Чого? Є такий момент, що це ж зробить. На вулиці падає сніг, мене болить голова. Я не я, і голова не моя. Сардини в банки, сардини в пушки. Ви всі маленькі шлюшки. Так. Я казала, що це Скріп. А вже можу ще раз сказати, це Скріп грає. Літа. Летять. У вас машин не пікає на вулиці. Скутки промінювання залежно від цього промінювання, давки, розчасу експозиції. Експозиція радіова. Сонце пище. А ну дай покажу, подивіться на накладку. Віолончель погасла, відразу вмер контрабас. Хапливо, на швидку, а скрипка п'є гарячий грім екстаз. Грозу екстазу, білу, аж гірку, талант мій на дикому смичкові. По струнах полохливих прослизни, лону скрипки, допінкує слово. Дозріє слово в муках тишини, вагітна скрипка стане бороділлю. Оркестр прийме морозно-чорний шок, як нехрещенне слово самоціллю, повстане з оркестрових полішок. Візьми його, не дай назвати славі. А по-спартанськи босим на мороз, того від сонця, чорно величаве, воно провисне буйним гроном гроз. І в тому отчайдушному розгоні затям собі і стверди це життя, що слово з музики, з її гірких агоній, і мати слово, скрипка – це затям. Літо пилося, літо їлося, літо кипило вишневу лутову. Густо сміялося, коло віло, переморговували зелену брову. А ми за руки, аж пальців хрускіт, аж регіт збивався під пахвою сит. За хвилями книг в сторінковому пльоскуті відкрили шалений його материк, і раптом у гаморі магазині все спалахнуло. Аж день злякався. Все стало синім, місячно синім. Засвітилася сльоза Пікассо. І зайнялася в дівчині зорі, і прикипіли карі, та ну. Тонуть у морі, тонуть і в горі. І ми в сльозі потонули. Сльоза Пікассо. Михайло Григорів уже не мовкне, поскрапують послання гнізд, уже в оселях розгрібає світла, але звідки воно? Дощові ліси, безвітрі звірі, сіті повішених дерев, без береги, вторгнення смерку. Заплющились на ліс великі очі страху, а в лісі день як день. Сидить опеньки над горнятами роси, мугикають мурахи, і відьма їжаків стражене, мов ягнят. Тутешній квіт лихий не знає кожен змалку. Всюди ручна бджола не прилетить помад, струшивши жовтий лист легенд на сонну мавку. Тут від освіта пройшов, чи пролетів поет. Це він, як глиця, впав у пісню морошину. Він, так, що аж роси набрали в рот пеньки, з найменшого гриба, з останньої шипшини, читає ліс, немов молитву навпаки. Тарас Федюк. Ось весна. Що робити з нею? Знов прийшла, хто її просив. Горобці несуть ахінеї з усіх своїх голосів. Ну там промені і струмочки, ну там дамочки, цок-цок-цок, ну дощі та інші примочки, навігація, берег, пісок. Томик вирішив старого бахита. Навіть гості, ви виправдовуєшся, треба жити, так і треба тобі. Живи. Падіння літальних апаратів. За шумом водограю не чув, як падають літальні апарати. Зрідка вигадується хода перехожого, уривок розмов, писк. Усе, що завгодно, тільки не падіння літальних апаратів. Всі інші дослідження ні до чого не привели. Шум водограю звабливо кличе до себе. Довірливих шукачів, що, марнуючи час, прислухаються до падіння літальних апаратів. З настанням зими водограй вимкнули, а ми покинули ту місцевість. Далеке морозне повітря розносить радісну звістку про падіння літальних апаратів. І я тобі галантно не вклонюся, комплімента зроду не зліплю, тільки в очі ніжні задивлюся, в них свою тривогу утоплю. І коли химерною габою спеленає землю довга ніч, довго серце ти жужить за тобою, довго сон мені не йде до віч, довго білі таємничі крила оббивають маревом видінь, і стоїш ти крихітна і мила, і прозора, мов ранкова тінь, і палає, ніби стиглі вишні, владно підкоряючи собі губи націловані і грішні, очі божевільно голубі. Езотерика. Якби це було просто щастя, то це було б просто щастя. А все, що зверх того, це вже поезія. Слухай, милий, ти захищайся. Я стала дика, я Полінезія. Колись Гоган тікав на Таїці, лишаючись тут і модерн, і готика. У цьому черствому скрипучому світі тільки любити тепер езотерика. Я порушила всі табу, нарвані квіти мої у нірвані. Пасеться обов'язків цілий табун, а я цілую тебе у вігвамі. Що з того, що туфлі у мене на шпильках? Я в джунглях була і не силу вибрала. Душі предки приходять навшпиньки, щоб подивитись, кого я вибрала. Очі у них великі і круглі, скелі голі, як голіафи. Птиця тюльпан п'є воду із кухля, птиця бузок п'є воду з карафи. Дві зірки у хату мені влетіло. Сади стоять буддійськими храмами, люблю своє тіло, смагляве тіло, тіло твоє татуйоване шрамами. Дивлюсь на все спокійними очима. Давно спокійно бути я хотів. І вже не тішить вишукана Рима, а біль її шукати й поготів. Коли дійшов заранній біль розплати, збагнув усю непереможність днів. Чи потребуєш час твій марнувати, на лад закінчив суфіксів і пнів? Ні, на вустах усмішкою гіркою ляга мовчання мудрого печать. Дар нелегкий ваш досвід і спокою, дар розуміти, знати і мовчать. Блаженні дні і ночі на селі, землі волинської родючі лона, і дух полів, і гомін от балкона, і крекіт жаб на вітровім крилі. А в плесі тихім, мов на синім склі, вже позначились клешні скорпіона, і антарес, як іскарка червона. Уже світив недобрієвій млі. Я від'їздив і у комастролога допитувався взір, яка дорога мене провадить у майбутні дні. І скорб і газ в красі своїй недобрій, а друг стрілець виносив понад обрій свій срібний лук, приязні вогні. Не Зевс, не пан, не голуб, дух. Лиш сонячні кларнети. У танці я ритмічний рух, я безсмертні всі планети. Я був не я, лиш мрія сон. Навколо дзвонні згуки і пітьму творчий хітон. І благовісні руки. Прокинувся я, і я вже ти. Над мною, підо мною горять світи, і бажають світи музичною рікою. І стежив я, і я веснію. Акордились планети. Навік я взнав, що ти не гнів. Лиш сонячні кларнети. Спи, моя ластивко, зіронько, спи. Сни собі сни, не важкі, не напророчі, хай тобі сняться весняні степи. Тихої, тихої, тихої ночі. Хай тобі сняться квітучі міста, Київ каштановий, Харків бузковий і Маріуполя сакура. Та місто Херсон у тюльпанах казкових, спи, моя ластівко, скоро весна. Майже весна, і вона неминуча. Хай тобі сниться рипуча сосна з міста пахучого соснового буча. Спи, моя ластівко, все ще війна, що вибухає над світом, атліном. Тут у підвалі немає вікна, але ж весна неминуча, дитино. Любовна ботаніка. Джинджора, кажу я, і співаю з твоїх уст краплю гіркоти. Джинджора, лише вона, тому є біль, зарубцьовує рани, гоїть недуги, твої очі сяють, і триумфальна юність проступає в твоїй усмішці. Джинджора, панацея, любов. Кав'ярня біля скверика з гарматами. Кава по-турецьки з довгих тонких чашок, як гарячий образ червоних кленів вздовж вулиці. Холодний шурхіт дощу за дверима і сонна жага півдня в кав'ярні. де тільки кельнеркам з голубими очима половецької княжни.
Thank you.